Greetings from Senior Trust Advisors, Denver, Colorado. This is Dwayne Henneman, Senior Advisor, and I'm going to speak to you today about old and new concerns facing seniors today. We're going to talk about the new Deficit Reduction Act, new spend-down rules, new look-back rules, new Medicaid rules, protecting your assets, final expense rules, cost of final expenses, new trust changes, qualifying for Medicaid, and much, much more. I also want to talk about the concerns facing, the old concerns, if you will, facing seniors. Death of a loved one, outliving your money, nursing home confinement, failing health and losing one's independence, and certainly the high cost of final expenses. And folks, let's face it, no one wants to think about issues such as death, but someone will have to make these decisions. What kind of funeral will take place? What's the cost going to be? Who will make all of the decisions? You know what? It becomes a real burden for your loved ones. And no one wants to think about how a nursing home can wipe out all your lifetime of savings. And 93% of seniors over 65 don't have nursing home insurance today. And why is that? It's too expensive. So sheltering some of your assets from nursing homes and Medicaid is now possible using the new irrevocable funeral trust. So without planning, you could lose everything. Now let's look at some facts here, folks. The average cost of a nursing home today is $6,000 per month. And 50% of us will enter a nursing home someplace along the way. 70% of us will run out of money within 33 weeks. And you know what, folks? It matters not how much money that you have. If you spend enough time in a nursing home, the nursing home is going to end up with all the money, and that's just a fact. 7 out of 10 couples will have one spouse enter a nursing home someplace along the way. So the legal planning that you do today can help protect your assets and still qualify for Medicaid. So let's take a look at some of these new Medicaid rules. Now we're going to be in the left-hand column today talking about single people or widowed people. And the right column is talking about married couples with one spouse going to a nursing home, and we'll be talking about that in future videos. But let's just talk about a very few things that it takes to qualify for Medicaid today. Basically, you can only have $2,000 in allowable assets, $1,500 maximum in a life insurance policy, $4,500 automobile, personal possessions, wedding rings and jewelry, and so on. You can have a funeral trust up to $12,500. That's irrevocable. We'll talk about that. If you have set aside over a 60-month period of time, you can set aside up to $50,000 in a family estate trust. And again, we'll be talking more about all these as we move ahead. And since only $1,500 is exempt from a life insurance policy, this becomes an issue. Medicaid says that only $1,500 of any life insurance policy is exempt. Any cash value above that amount is a countable asset and would have to be spent down or will go to the nursing home or Medicaid for eligibility. Well, there's a solution, and that's using a 1035 exchange to a funeral trust that is tax-free, and that is now protected using the new irrevocable funeral trust. And let's talk about that for a moment. The new irrevocable funeral trust was set up with the Deficit Reduction Act, which is enacted February 8, 2006 by President George Bush, becoming both a blessing and a curse for most seniors. The blessing is seniors can now legally set aside up to that $12,500 in a new irrevocable trust, creating a legal safe haven for Medicare, nursing homes, and other creditors. Now, the curse is the new 60-month look-back rule, which means seniors can't gift away or transfer funds or property without being subject to potential penalties when applying for assistance if that's ever needed. And for example, if you sold a $200,000 home to a son or daughter for $50,000 1 year before applying for assistance, you could be penalized the $150,000 difference from the fair market appraised value. So folks, don't wait until it's too late. Today's funeral expenses are skyrocketing. The cost of a funeral 10 years ago was about $4,000. Today's cost for a funeral averages about $8,000 to $10,000 and even more. So what's the funeral cost going to be in 5 and 10 years from now? So if you spend down your life savings down to the $2,000 to become eligible for Medicaid, there are no funds remaining to pay for your funeral expenses. An irrevocable trust is a must today. The gentleman here to the right, he's thinking, my concern, I'm really concerned about what could happen if I enter a nursing home. I could lose all of my life savings. And, maybe you're thinking that also, and it's obviously true. The irrevocable trust has no fees or no cost to you and can be used in addition to any other trust that you may have. $12,500 is the maximum per trust, and that varies from state to state. It protects funds from spend down upon the effective date of the transfer. Policy beneficiary becomes your trust, with your trustee carrying out all of your wishes. The trust pays funeral costs with any excess funds going to your state or your beneficiaries. The trust can be funded from savings accounts, annuities, CDs, money markets, or mutual funds, tax-free using 1035 exchanges. And your trust grows at 2% per year to offset inflation. Very important is your trust is managed by a 99-year-old A-rated life insurance company. So peace of mind becomes very, very important to all of us. And the process is easy, and the protection is forever. So folks, peace of mind for you today, peace of mind for your loved ones tomorrow, with inflation protection for your future becomes a very, very significant issue. So now that you have the knowledge and the solution, and you are not in a crisis situation, doesn't it just make sense to take advantage of all the things that we've just discussed? You'll be glad you did. So please don't wait until it's too late. If you would like a free report on these senior challenges and the new irrevocable funeral trust, go to our website at seniortrustadvisors.com. That's www.seniortrustadvisors.com. seniortrustadvisors.com. And oh, by the way, life insurance agents, elder law attorneys, and financial planners are certainly encouraged to give us a call regarding our irrevocable funeral trust. This is Dwayne Henneman at 800-220-0468. Give us a call at 800-220-0468. Thanks for listening in, and we'll be looking forward to hearing from you soon.